Hello. On the 12th of September 2013, a young girl by name Ijeoma Mbiaka, who happens to be 12 years old, was heard screaming out of a hotel room by fellow customers in that same hotel who were occupying other rooms. And they rushed to the reception and told the receptionist that they've heard a young girl screaming out of one of the hotel rooms. And the receptionist came up and opened the hotel room where the scream was coming from. They saw this young girl who is 12 years old, unable to stand, and blood oozing out of her private part. She was part conscious and part unconscious. She was rushed to the hospital. Now, now the question which arises here is who must have raped this young girl by name Ijeoma Mbiaka? So guys, our crime story for today is gonna take us to the beautiful country of Nigeria, in the town of Oyego in the state of Anambra, where there lived a reverend by name Samson Otisi. He is the head pastor of Rema Ministries. And in this same town, there lived a young girl by name Ijeoma Mbiaka, who is 12 years of age. Our crime story all started when this young girl had a problem of hearing properly, meaning she was deaf in both of her ears. So she decided to go to church on Sunday to go see her pastor, Pastor Samson Otisi, to pray for her, so that by the grace of God she might hear again. When she came to church, she met the pastor before the church service on Sunday started, and the pastor told her to come after the church service is over so that he can pray for her. She waited. After the church service got over, she went and saw the pastor, Samson Otisi. Pastor took her behind the church and told her to open her mouth, of which she opened. The pastor poured anointing oil on her tongue, then rubbed anointing oil in his hands and placed inside his eardrums. Then told her to carry her gown up, of which she refused and said no. But the pastor said, if you really want me to pray for you so that you get healed, do as I tell you. Because she wanted to get healed and get hearing again from 2 ears, she carried up her gown and the pastor applied anointing oil on her belly button. And the pastor started slowly massaging her belly button with that anointing oil. Before she realized it, the pastor's hands was already inside her vagina. So she screamed and the pastor pulled off his hands. The pastor told her that try to see if she can hear properly. After that prayer, of which there was no prayer, she said she cannot hear properly. So the pastor said, okay, come over to my house. This was when the Sunday service had come to an end and everyone had went home. She refused that if her mother sees her in the pastor's house, she is going to be beaten by her mother. The pastor told her, okay, do not worry. The pastor was with her and other friends too of the pastor, who were visiting pastors of other churches too. So the pastor took her along that, okay, let me go lodge these my friends in a hotel room. Then we can later on go back to church and pray. I'll pray for you so that you can hear properly by the grace of God. So this young girl, Ijeoma Mbiaka, followed the pastor. So the pastor took her along to the hotel. The pastor secured rooms for his friends and also secured rooms for himself too. And this young girl did not know. The pastor then called his friends and the young girl to come up. Let him show his friends their rooms. And when his friends came up, he showed them their rooms. Then he told her, this is my own room too. So the young girl refused that she's not going to enter. The pastor said, no, that let me just pray for you in my own hotel room very quickly. And by the grace of God, you are going to hear properly so that you can go and meet your mom and continue with your household chores on Sunday. So the young girl accepted. While she entered the pastor's own hotel room, the pastor had drinks and food kept for him. And the pastor forced this drink for the young girl to drink because she refused that she's not going to drink. The pastor forced her to drink, and when she drank it, she became unconscious, according to what she said. She said she became unconscious and she felt so weak. And she was saying unconsciously that what have you done to me? What have you done to me, pastor? What have you done to me? And she said she felt the pastor penetrated inside her. And she said she could not cry. She was weak. She had lost composure. And she was so unconscious. The pastor kept penetrating inside her, kept penetrating inside her, kept penetrating inside her. She was 12 years of age. She said after that, she only realized herself 6 a.m. in the morning when she had started gaining consciousness, and she was in the hotel room and she could not see the pastor, and she started screaming, "Can someone please open the door? Someone help, someone help, someone please open the door, someone please open the door." Then other customers too in other hotel rooms in the same hotel heard and came and told the reception, and the receptionist came up and they opened the door and they saw the young girl. She was bleeding, blood was coming out of her vagina, and she was unable to walk for herself. She was unable to walk, and she was so part unconscious and part unconscious. She was rushed to the hospital. While at the hospital, a medical examination was carried on her vagina. It shows that she had a torn hymen and she sustained bruises around her vagina. Her mother, Ifeoma Ndiaka, confronted the pastor and said her daughter is accusing the pastor of raping her. But the pastor refused and said he had nothing to do with the young girl, that he only prayed for the young girl. The mother asked that, "Where did you pray for my daughter? Is it in a hotel or a church?" He said, "A church." But when things got hot, when things got heated, the pastor decided to bribe the young girl's father with 500,000 naira to keep quiet about the situation. But the young girl's father refused. Guys, just so you all should know, this pastor has been accused previously of raping an 8-year-old. This same pastor had been accused previously of raping an 8-year-old. So the pastor was being arrested and he was taken to custody in prison. In prison, and this case is depending jurisdiction in court. And I'm sure by now there must be, the verdict must be out. But I have tried to look for the verdict, to kind of like complete, to tell you how many years this pastor spent in jail, but I couldn't find it. But I heard in court, the pastor said the young girl was used by his enemies, which he had a land dispute with. They are the ones who are propping this 12 years old to accuse him to destroy his image. So, and the problem is with the young girl and the pastor, it is just you said, I said, you said, I said, you said, I said. Now, the hotel, those who were working in that hotel reception, they are the ones who are supposed to stand as witness to say they saw this pastor coming in with this young girl. And they saw a pastor and a young girl. Why didn't they ask? With the pastor and the 12-year-old, why didn't they ask that, what are you doing with the 12-year-old? Maybe they felt The 12-year-old is his daughter. So guys, this is what is going on. This is what which went down on this rape story of Ijeoma Biaka. But young Miss Ijeoma Biaka is doing very well right now. She's perfectly fine, and I hope she overcome the trauma, the mental, psychiatric mental problems attached to being raped. I hope she overcomes in Jesus' mighty name. So guys, I'd like to get your thoughts of what you think about this crime story, or this crime story of the rape of this young girl Ijeoma Biaka. I'd like to get your thoughts down at the comment section of what you think. I'd also like to get your thoughts of what you think about the presentation of this story, this crime story. Thank you for listening. I love you, but no, Jesus Christ loves you more. Stay safe and be blessed. Bye bye.